point guard, and today closing with that as well. How much more are you trying to get looks like that for your team these last couple of weeks?
Well, I just want to put shooters out there and have her be the decision maker because, again, she plays at a high level and she really loves to orchestrate. So I just wanted to make sure that she had the ball in her hands and try to get the best shot that we could get. And obviously, the 19 turnovers for 26 points didn't help at all. So again, it's just about learning from every experience and just keeping our focus for 40 minutes again.
Overall, what do you feel you can do to stop them, like you talked about, just independent, especially when they have zero?
I think we have to have a tremendous amount of ball pressure when they're making their direct entries and lob passes into her, and then come with help side. I thought we did a pretty good job of help side, but I think the ball could be pressured a little bit better.
What did you feel like changed after that first quarter? Were you able to hold them to 17 points, being very aggressive and being very in their face defensively?
I thought we lost. I thought we lost contact a couple times on shooters, and then I didn't think we were really solid when it came to playing our particular post defense. Obviously, Tira's a force; it's hard to stop her, but positioning and doing your work early is very, very important. And I thought we missed out on some opportunities with that.
You guys got within 5 in the fourth quarter. What do you feel like led to that resurgence that you guys saw in those last few minutes of the game?
I tell you what, our team is resilient. We're a resilient group. I think we pick our spots where we're playing hard, well not hard, but playing extremely efficient, and it hurts us. I mean, we'll have a big play one after another, and then we'll have 2 or 3 bad ones, and it could just be as simple as ball handling or passing, or again turnovers, 26 points off of 19 turnovers is difficult. And last but not least, to be honest with you, our free throw shooting, missing free throws at that rate, it's unacceptable. It is.
With that in mind, obviously Dallas didn't do what they do, but did you feel that there was a lot of kind of unforced errors, things you could have done that didn't have anything to do with Dallas that hurt you this game?
Oh yes, for sure. We had a few, 5 or 6 live ball turnovers that just kills us not only with the points, but it kills us with the momentum of the game. But again, I can't say enough about my team because we came off a long road trip, and it was kind of good for us to try to get our legs back under us, time change, all of that. And again, it's not an excuse. It's just with a young team, they have to really understand and learn how to be effective in those situations.
I know Lexi didn't play a ton tonight, but he did go to her at crunch time last 3 minutes there. What led to that decision?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that Lexi hasn't been in the flow of what we're doing, and you don't want to just throw her out, back-to-back games, and her wrist is not. It's fully healed, but she hasn't had the reps, in a game situation. So I just want to kind of sprinkle her in today. Lexi is a big part of what we do.
Yeah, kind of just going off that, what did you think of her play today? And obviously limited minutes, but the first game back.
Yeah, it was definitely limited minutes, but she's one of those hard hat type players. She puts on her list, brings her lunch bill to work every day, and she's ready to work. So it sucks when you have a Tiffany Mitchell that's playing very well. You have a Tori that's as our starter, and you're trying to get something from everyone at every position. So sometimes you get stuck, but at other times, when you have a situation like Lexi, you don't want to push her into the fire, and she ends up re-injured or whatever it may be. She's working hard to get her conditioning back and everything, so she's good.
And then you mentioned just the kind of few plays really go for you, few plays don't go for you. What do you guys do to kind of try to make sure you don't hit those slumps where you're letting the other team go on a run, so you kind of have to crawl back and get it a close game?
Well, we try to get our players touches that you know, that have a high efficiency rate. You know, so we look for this, we look for Kelsey in those scenarios, in those situations to kind of pull us out and make sure that we don't go stagnant. And you know, a lot of times that's what happens.
Yeah, NaLyssa, Dallas today, 62 points in the paint. They were just constantly able to get in there and finish. Why do you feel like they were able to finish so well?
I mean, they had great post players in the paint. They had bigger post players, so I feel like they were able to score around the rim.
What do you feel like you guys could have done better to prevent them from scoring as much inside?
We could have pulled over a lot faster than we did and have a better upside.
Another game for you where you hit multiple threes. For you, how have you seen that shot develop, or has it felt like it was a work in progress maybe coming out, and now a few months into the season almost over, you're shooting the ball really well?
It's something I constantly work on, constantly in the gym shooting threes, because they said that's what was missing from my game, so now what can they say, you know? So it's something I'm going to keep working on.
I do like playing at people. What do you think of just the overall third venue change you guys have had?
I like this gym. I like it feels more like, you know, WNBA to me, like the bright lights, you know, the music loud. I feel like the other one is kind of like, it didn't give me like basketball, but I like this gym.
Played the whole first half today. Is it difficult at all to pivot between 4 and 5 so much over the course of one game?
Nah. I feel like 4 and 5 are interchangeable, so you're kind of doing the same thing. So I've made a living off of both of them. So.
Front row seat for Kelsey Mitchell's game today. What do you think of what she was able to do, and how can you guys help her a little bit more, which she hasn't really done?
I mean, Kelsey Mitchell, you know, we've seen her do this for years now, and she's finally like, you know, broadcasting it more than like more consistently. So, you know, I love seeing my teammates do great things, and we've seen every time she scores, I was happy. So, I don't know, I love it for her.
You've had a couple high turnover games in a row. What do you feel like is the lead cause behind that, and how can you guys clean that up?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like we just got Gallon to take care of the ball, not try to make the flashy passes, just make the easy pass. We get trapped a lot, so just learning how to work outside the trap, I feel like that'll help us.
Is that more frustrating in a game like this where you have a decent number of, as a team, unforced turnovers rather than being something Dallas is doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we see that's the difference in a lot of our games that we do lose is turnovers. So it's something we need to work on. We'll work on.
And you mentioned having to go against size disadvantage in the paint. What do you guys try to do in those situations to kind of make up for that and you know, minimize that advantage?
Like I said, we're working on pulling over quicker and giving our posts a lot more help. You know, because we're not going to beat them one-on-one. Like, they're a lot bigger than us. They've been in the league a couple more years than us, so they have the experience. So it's just about, you know, watching film, figuring out ways to stop bigger people.
What was looking for you in this game? You mentioned all the accolades. What led to a big night like that?
It just took some time, man. But the West Coast trips really did me bad, but that's bad as a team. I just knew I needed a reset, so I mean, my mentality's always been the same, but today it was just like so many like unknowns, not knowing what Butler looked like, not playing on the court before, and I just had to settle, you know, into a certain mentality. It started last night actually. Just kind of, you know, hanging out with my friends as far as like just kind of chilling and just settling myself. So that's how I went.
Carlos is going to these minutes more with no Danny, you as the one.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those? Do you feel like that's helping you? You know, the stats suggest it did today, but I'm curious how you feel about it.
I think I'm adjusting to it. I played PG my whole life up until I became a pro, and so it kind of felt familiar. It took some time to get used to as far as like, you know, make sure my team is involved, but I feel comfortable doing it. I definitely take heed to my PG, the true PGs though, like asking questions, you know, Caleb Pointer, hitting all of them, because I don't know. So it was definitely a hands-on effort.
What do you think of people? You said you ever played before?
After the day, man, I hope, you know, manifest some good stuff. But I'm definitely grateful for Butler for having us used to doing. Our circumstances are very unique, so we're very grateful.
You think this mentality shift you mentioned from last night is something you can carry through the rest of the season, give
For sure.
your teammates something like that?
1,000%. Try to get, I mean, we can get 4 wins, at least be double-digit wins. That's the plan. That's the goal, and it's going to be nothing less of it. So.
Carlos mentioned just the poor free throw shooting as something that played you guys. For you, that might have been the only poor thing on your stat sheet. What do you think that was? Why do you think that happened for you guys and for you specifically tonight?
Get in your own head, stuff may not be going right. I think missing that point blank layup in transition kind of like bogged me down a little bit. So my teammates kind of told me you got to stay at your own head, and I think that's why I was there. And I got to the free throw line.
You were here with Tiara for 3 years.
Yeah.
She had an 8-for-2 game today.
Right.
What makes her so difficult inside?
She's huge, and she knows it, and she abuses it. But I love her, and I'm very happy to see her playing. She deserved it. I wish circumstances were different, but I'm always wish her the best. We've established a great relationship. So for us, our schemes, we know we undersized. They take heed to that. They utilize that the entire game. So we kind of expected it.
Turnovers have continued to be an issue. How can you guys shore that up as we head towards the end of this year?
Ain't no excuses. It's just, obviously you see plays, you see certain stuff happen and stuff like that. You just be unfortunate, but for the most part, it's just you gotta take care of the ball in order to get more possessions, and make sure that we stay on the win column as far as turnovers. We actually didn't start that bad this year, but as the year went on, it's kind of just been ugly. So I don't know. We just gotta keep pushing, I guess.
You talk about getting in your own head. Is that a challenge to stay out of your own head and not?
Yeah, for sure. It's just like when you hold yourself to a certain standard and you know what it looks like to be a pro. You see Super and the entire Vegas team. It's like it's a certain standard you gotta meet and you stay at, and like you can't be drop off. So when you miss layups and you miss free throws, you're not being a pro. And, I just kind of like hold myself to a standard where certain things can't happen. That's
So what can you do to work on that?
It's definitely gonna take some experience, obviously, but I think over time, I think it becomes second nature. Kind of like a Steph Curry vibe. I hope like it's gonna be second nature. My muscle memory gonna follow.
Takes experience. Do you see that as an issue with the whole team being a very
1,000%, 1,000,000%? It's a lot of stuff that we gotta go over and correct during the game that you thought was second nature, and that's all the teams capitalize on. They know that we're not as seasoned in certain positions. Teams are just noticing that how young we are, and I think it's been one of those things where people see it as a crutch for us, our Achilles heel. And we accept it. I think for us going forward, we learn from it and we kind of move on. I think these rookies, I hope that they take this experience and utilize it from a standpoint of how to be a pro. And understand the hits we took because we were so uninformed. So.
Does that make it harder, more frustrating than a lot of the stuff is itself?
It makes things tough from a coaching perspective. Hats off to our coaches because they do the best they can. Do the best they can. I'm sorry to kind of make sure that we know the schemes, know certain stuff, but it's just so much drop off because our rookies just don't know. And it's not their fault. They're doing the best they can. Honestly, I think they're doing a great job, but it's just obvious drop off when it comes to some stuff, and it hurts us included. Us vets, we ain't perfect either, but it just hurt to know that we so in the season.
Obviously had the 34 points, but also 5 rebounds and led the game with 6 assists. Was that something you were focusing on, even though when you obviously could tell you were heating up there, to still focus on distributing and running the offense, or I guess what was your thought there?
I think for me, it's just kind of making sure that I'm an all-around player. I don't want to be limited to nothing. No matter what I do. I don't want to be one of the people who say she can't pass. I don't want to be one of the people that say she can't get a rebound and things are not going her way on the offensive end. I want to be able to do everything. That's just my goal.
Kelsey, before and after games, I've been seeing a lot of opposing teammates kind of walking up to you. What's it feel like to start feeling the respect of your peers recently?
It's very unique. It's a unique feeling. I've always respected the game and respected the people I play. So for me, it just kind of lets me know that this is a league where everybody is good, and to be kind of held to a certain standard to get that respect from other people, it feels amazing. Unfortunately, our season doesn't show that, but I've always respected other players and what they bring to the table as well. And so to have that respect go both ways is just it's an unexplainable feeling. I always respect it for sure.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Kelsey.
Y'all have a good one.